record
I want
this.
to ask, I want to ask you something before you record it.
Well, let me press pause. Okay. It's just you and I right now, Zoe. Coffee
Yeah.
hour. Um, I'm a little bit under the weather this week.
What
Uh,
happened?
I don't know, a little head cold, I think. Just real
Mm-hmm.
congested. Haven't been sleeping very well.
Yeah.
Um,
Are mm-hmm.
that's really it. Just some sinus
Yeah.
congestion.
Are y'all having any ozone stuff going on down there?
I'm not sure. What do you mean?
Weather-wise, they did o ozone alerts in this area.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever gotten an ozone alert.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm in Kentucky, so I don't know. And it was several states up this way.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What
And I
is it?
think they said it's because we hadn't had any rain and to get, I guess, stuff out of the air.
Okay.
And it does affect sinuses and things. So I was wondering if it extended down there.
Well, we have had a few monsoons
Oh,
and
you did.
haboobs in
And yes, a
the past
caboose.
few weeks. So that kicks
Mm-hmm.
up a lot of dust,
Mm-hmm.
which could be part of it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that could contribute maybe a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
it's most likely maybe a little virus.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think all of my triplets had some form of it.
Ah,
Yeah, Vinny had a fever for almost like 4 days last week, 2 weeks ago.
wow. Wow.
And then right before that, the other two, just at night, were really, really
Mm-hmm.
stuffy. They were really
Mm-hmm.
congested.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the virus kind of worked through them all, but it hit Vinny the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got the tail end of it because we had our nanny got a cold. My
Ah.
brother's house, they got a cold. A couple of clients that got colds. So I think it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of working its way through
Yeah.
the Phoenix area down here.
Yeah. Well, you do good. You have a strong immune system in general.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Mhm.
When I get stressed out, that's when I get sick.
Absolutely.
It lowers my immunity a little bit and I get sick.
For
Um,
sure.
so, it's definitely been higher stress these days,
Hmm.
just in general.
Yeah.
Manage it pretty well. I don't get sick very often,
Yeah.
and it doesn't last too long, usually.
Well, yes. Yes. That's good. There's so much going on in the whole world, and it does affect all of us, even if we're not directly affected. I think. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. I think
Hmm.
the whole the world that we live in with so much access to information is to be able
Hmm.
to we're not meant to see all the atrocities in the world that go on every
Hmm.
day at our fingertips all day long.
Yes. Yes.
And that can be insidious and it can wreak havoc
Yeah.
on our mental health, and
It
that
does.
will lower our immunity and that
Hmm.
lead to illness.
Exactly.
So,
And it's in our subconscious, not always conscious that it's affecting us. Like you might just, I mean, stuff that gets shot through us from the algorithm. It's not
yeah.
what you're looking for, but you see it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. Like, are you on Instagram, though? Do you have
Yes.
Instagram? So I don't know if you ever do this, but there's a page that you can look at. It's called the Explore page,
Yes.
the search button.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the algorithm feeds you all sorts of new stuff. It is,
Wow.
it's really interesting when you look at your Explore page versus somebody else's.
Okay.
And it's so weird. Like, just take a woman versus a man's explore page. Like mine, for example,
Mm-hmm.
it is full of women that are like half naked.
Mm-hmm.
That are on like OnlyFans,
Mm-hmm.
essentially like
Got it.
the Instagram porn or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have to scroll like 3 times until I start getting to the stuff that I'm actually interested in, like the
Wow.
fitness, the
Mm-hmm.
science, and the people that I actually follow. But
Mm-hmm.
it's to me, it's just so interesting how these algorithms work. And the first and foremost thing that they want is the thing that you're most likely to click on,
Mm-hmm.
which is those things that are, based on selling sex, essentially. And I never click on them, which is to me the kind of frustrating thing. Is I don't remember it wasn't Francesca, but it was somebody else that like was on my phone and just clicked on that explore page and they were like, geez, Brandon, like, what are you looking at all day? And I'm like, that's the thing, I don't look at any of it, but that's what Instagram, the algorithm,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like low-hanging fruit that's just gonna
Yeah.
like trigger your brain to click on it.
Yeah. Your demographic is young man,
Yeah.
and that's probably what it's targeting, especially since you don't click on it.
Well, and my frustration is that most most young men, especially when they see all the stress in the world and all the perceived, I guess, challenges that they have of just even being a young man in the world, all with
Mm-hmm.
all the toxic masculinity and they have no chance. They're just being bombarded with this all the time, and it's like no wonder, half these young men are addicted to porn and are just
Yeah.
coming to relationships and are just feeling depressed and don't know what to do with themselves in the world. They're being conditioned.
Wow.
They're being robbed, really. They're being
Mm-hmm.
hijacked. It's a better word to say it. Like their brain is being hijacked.
Mm-hmm. Because that's not learning how to be a man.
No, not at all.
See. So, and there are a lot of children being born with no fathers in the home, because it has something to do with that, because it's all about sex, getting it, you know.
Yep, yep. And then um they get hijacked again by everything they see
Mm-hmm.
online and on their social medias, and they think that
Mm-hmm.
there's always something better and that they can have more somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting too with the artificial intelligence relationships that people are having now too,
Yeah.
especially young men that are like feel like outcasts and
Mm-hmm.
um, don't know where they fit in the world. They start having
Yeah.
relationships with artificial intelligence and get lost in that and
Yeah.
feel like they don't need to have real relationships with
Oh,
real people.
hold on 1 second, Brandon.
Yeah.
I forgot I am making this an Alfredo. Name was already off. Yeah. So yeah, I'm making an Alfredo sauce. I forgot. And so I think it's so I met a gentleman the other day. I was out shopping and he's a redhead. And sometimes when I meet reds, I always, want to know, well, where they come from and all that. As a kid, he didn't. Of course, when we're young, we don't like who we are, right? But we go through that phase of growing through that. And now, at once you get to a certain age, you don't care what people think about you. If you're
Yeah.
too skinny, too fat, too short, too tall, any of that. And so now with this with the media stuff, the young people don't get a chance to go through those stages to get over that and just value you as a human. Because if you're a human, you're awesome. That's a given.
Yeah,
But they don't get to that.
right. Yeah, you're right. They don't. There's too much comparison going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not healthy.
Mm-mm.
Comparison is the thief of all joy, somebody said one
Yeah.
time. I
Wow,
was
I
like
like
that.
that.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do we do about it?
Well, we can observe it. I'm just glad to meet people, you know, like yourself and some others I meet that are protecting as best they can, protecting their
Mhm.
children from that.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta help out somehow. Because like the kids, especially the kids' brains, they don't have the ability to not at least not like we do. They don't have the ability, they haven't strengthened that part of their brain, the frontal lobe yet, so that they can
Hmm.
inhibit those things and actually make a conscious choice. They're just getting
Yes.
hijacked. It's like my kids, you know, they're an
Mhm.
extreme example because they're only 1 year old, but it's the perfect example of what it's like because they get distracted so easily.
Mhm.
They get on one thing and then it's like, whoa, what is that? And then they're gone, right? There is
Yeah.
no there is no inhibition going on at all. They
Hmm.
don't have the brain to do that. It's just not developed yet. But we forget that an 18-year-old is not that much different. Like a 13-year-old, good luck. They don't have much of that
Right.
frontal lobe developed yet. So they can um, develop some behavioral control and a little bit of discipline in some things, but it's much harder for them to fully express or fully um, stay true to that when they're being pulled in so many different directions with such intense stimuli.
Hmm.
Yeah, you're really it's like you're fighting a losing battle. Like the scientists and engineers that made those apps, made that food so addicting and palatable, they're gonna win. They've got, decades and decades of science and experimentation that is gonna win out over a 13-year-old's brain. It's
For
gonna win
sure.
every time. It's just a matter of how
For
long.
sure.
Yeah.
And without any type of balance in the home, and I just don't know how I would have survived in these times. But growing up, I did have firmness in the home. I wanted to date, but I didn't date because word got around if you go over there and try and mess with her, they'll chase you out of the house with a broom.
Hmm.
So that did happen. And so after that, I wasn't bombarded with the boyfriend conversation. And and then there was some type of order and expectations in the home. So that helped me to grow through to the point where my frontal lobe kicked in.
Yeah. And then you can properly make your own decisions.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Kate said in the chat, it's a ridiculous battle with all these highly engineered things,
Hmm.
apps, the food, and everything else. And then keeping them off it is the only answer. I mean, that's kind of where
And
we
that's a
sit.
challenge.
That's also a challenge. Yeah. Because everybody else has
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
I think it's changing a little bit now. We see a lot of schools now that are phone-free schools, which I think is really good.
Really.
Yeah. But just a few years ago, it would have been even harder. I'm sure it's still
Hmm.
very hard, but that it's got to be really difficult when you see everybody else around you with it and you feel left out. Like I saw a survey the other day. Shoot, I can't remember who conducted it or where I even heard about it, but the survey was for young men specifically, and they did young people in general. I don't remember the ages, but essentially, like young men, more than 50% of them answered that they wish that they didn't have social media. They wish it was never invented. They wish they didn't have to be on it, but they feel like they have to. They don't have a choice because that's where everyone is and that's how everyone communicates. So if you're not on it, you're ostracized and you're a complete outcast, or they don't want to be on it. I
Mhm.
found that really fascinating. They
That's
see the
it,
danger and they must be seeing some of the negative behaviors in themselves or in others and connecting those dots back to social media and comparison and all the negative stuff on there.
yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting that over 50% of them said that. Um,
That's impressive.
yeah, I thought so.
Hmm.
But on the flip side, like I see there's definitely some value in social media. I mean, I wouldn't have a business if it wasn't for social media. I mean, there's other ways to market myself, but social media is the primary way that I do that. So it's been helpful in that way, and also the bane of my existence because I don't like doing it, but that's all right. That's just my own
Hmm.
personal growth issue. But
Well, you're just doing what you have to do to make it in the business world because in business, you probably heard the statement, who moved my cheese? Are you
yeah,
familiar with that business concept?
yep,
That after so long, you got to find the next big thing. And that's what you're using the tool that is being successful for a lot of people.
yeah, yeah, and it's a powerful tool for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know if if the costs outweigh the benefits though, just in general
Hmm.
for humanity. Because there's also,
Hmm.
you know, if it wasn't for certain social media platforms, we wouldn't um, we wouldn't be as aware of all of the corruption that's going on in our society at large, or especially around the government and especially around like our health institutions.
Hmm.
It's, directly a result of social media that we were able to even learn of a lot of those things. So, I mean, that's a net positive, I think. Yeah,
But I think the concept, at least in what I've seen you do and Next Level and some other things, it's bringing together a community of people who are like-minded.
that's another big,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, it
And
certainly is.
mhm.
But you can't, it's hard. It's a tough thing because you can't really, I think there needs to be some kind of, I think it comes down to the parents. My opinion is that it's the parents. I don't believe that the government or some organization should be um, censoring any content on social media. Um, I think we should have, as parents and as individuals, I think we should have a little bit more control over our algorithm. Like the fact that Instagram just shows me naked women all the time and I don't click on any of that is ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
Like you're just fishing. It's like I'm walking down the red light district in Vegas.
And you didn't ask for it.
I didn't choose to walk down that street. Right.
Uh,
It's not, that is to me is ridiculous. And I guarantee that's happening to 13-year-old boys. They
Yes.
have no impulse control,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's unfair. And I don't think that's right. So I think that if, like in that case, the parents need to have more control over their own child's algorithm, or you just keep them off it. But at
Yeah.
what point can you, at what, like, how long is that gonna last? Like when I have a 16-year-old daughter, am I really gonna be able to keep her off social media? I don't know. And do I want to? I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to figure that out
Mm,
just yet.
right.
But I don't I don't, yeah, I don't think that is, I think that should stay with the parents.
It's a heavy onus on them. However,
It
many
is.
people are not
That's,
really aware of the dangers because, again, there are pluses to it.
yeah.
But,
She said, let's revisit this conversation in 12 years and see how you feel.
oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. And I think a lot is going to change in that time.
Uh-huh.
So I have no
Mm-hmm.
idea. I have no idea how I'm going to feel in 12 years.
Yeah.
Um, and my kids, I don't know how they're going to feel. Yeah, that's a really interesting subject. But
And Kate has teenagers, so she's, dealing with it
in the
now.
thick of it, for
I
sure.
never had children, but I'm observing them. And when I'm around them, especially the little ones, I work to get them to have eye contact.
Yeah.
So they won't look you in the face. They don't know how to have or how even to establish a one-on-one relationship. So, and unless parents are aware and conscious of it, or the people you surround yourself with, your community, just be like everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the tricky. It's real tricky.
Hmm. I do have a question for you, Brandon, in regards to like if somebody is in a severe health crisis, like they have a lot of pain in their body and they
Yeah.
don't want to go to uh, doctors per se or ER, what kinds of things neuro wise could a person work on to perhaps relieve some of the pain?
Great question. So first, I would want to understand what kind of pain they're dealing with. Do you remember the four types of pain? I actually am posting this on social media today. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's a video I did a while back, but it got more views than almost any video I've done in the last years.
Really?
My
Mm.
assistant reposted it today, and it was on the four types of pain.
Hmm.
There are two types of nociceptive pain. Okay. That's somatic pain,
Hmm.
meaning like pain from an injury, which is sharp,
Yeah,
localized, and
somatic.
reproducible with movement.
Hmm.
And then there is it visceral pain? Is that what it's actually called? Visceral pain um, is like referred pain that is dull and broad that can come from, it's a referral from the visceral organs. So the classic example is you're having a heart attack. Your heart necessarily doesn't feel pain, so it refers pain to your left shoulder, left jaw, down the arm. Okay. And there's that nice little picture of the head zones that shows you where each organ refers pain. But that type of pain is going to be broad. It's kind of like, yeah, I can't really reproduce it with movement, but it's just like this whole area is just like, it's just uncomfortable and it hurts.
Visceral.
That's more visceral pain.
Hmm.
And then you have neurogenic pain, which is nerve pain. So sciatic type pain, carpal tunnel pain. It's usually radiating. It can be sharp and electric. It can be burning, itching, um, pins and needles. Any of those are like neurogenic type pains, nerve entrapments, something like that. And then you have sympathetic pain, which is usually like body wide. A lot of times it's like on the skin, and it can lead to things like allodynia, um, which is like all over skin, my skin hurts, like everything hurts. Fibromyalgia is kind of like a sympathetic type pain, kind of, because of how it presents everywhere. Allodynia is like the brushing of my shirt on my skin. It like hurts, or like
Mm-hmm.
even a cool breeze moves the hairs on my arms, and that hurts. That's like a sympathetic type pain. And there's an acronym. Um, shoot, I forget what it's called. STAMP. So it's sympathetic, temperature changes. So hot and cold, like getting really hot or like getting really cold. Um, allodynia, I forget the other two. I'll have to look them up. But I want to know what type of pain they have first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can give them some advice. So if it's just somatic pain, like an injury, or neurogenic pain, that's like nerve pain, like a sciatic type pain, or even visceral pain, well, let me ask you this. Like what do you know what type of pain this person is experiencing?
Well, I just know that when my sister had dealings with the medical system, it was a pain in across, now we call it the mesenteric area of the stomach, right under the rib cage, I dare say. Just a lot of severe pain there. And when she went into the system, they recommended gallbladder surgery. They did all kind of stuff, ended up messing up her arms with IVs done improperly, and she has poor use of the arms and all of that. So I just asked her the question today. She said, well, ask Brandon. If in an emergency situation, if it's not the somatic where it's a wound, or something else that like on the inside of the body, what kinds of things could you calm yourself down with the severe pain? And it
Yeah.
was the shooting pain, I think.
Okay. Like here, bottom of the rib cage.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Goes across.
Yes.
Okay. To me, that sounds a little bit like maybe a diaphragm problem. So I would work on and shooting pain seems is more of a neurogenic or also somatic. So both of those can be like shooting and sharp.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would do in that case is um, I would first try some sensory input and then some movement. So just simple sensory input to the area with a cloth, a vibration, hot, cold, or warm, cool, I should say, not super hot or cold. Um, electric, any kind of sensory input around the whole area, even like chemicals, like the icy hot or Bengay or CBD oil or something like that. And then I would start working some movement. So you could, if you know someone or she could do it to herself, just like some light. Um, you have light touch. And then you could go a little bit deeper into those areas, just like some light massage of that diaphragm area, and and then trying to do some movement. So I would move the spine from the bottom all the way up. I mean, all the way up to the thoracic spine above the area for sure. Trying to move each one of those. I would try to move my rib cage and remap those areas. Doing some lumbar rolls, some thoracic glides. Um, I would also try to move the diaphragm itself. So you might try just some long exhale breathing. Um, Try some diaphragm stretch. Um, some tilting in different positions and breathing, both inhales and a little bit more forceful exhales to get that full diaphragm activated and moving in lots of different ways.
Hmm.
And those are the local things that I would start with. And then you can work kind of higher order, above the neck type stuff, and work on any vestibular or visual drills that are going to be helpful for lowering threat.
Hmm.
First of all, you just want to lower threat. That's like the whole thing.
Right.
Beginning is anything you can do to lower threat can be helpful. And so some visual and vestibular drills might be helpful there. Some integration of those drills like infinity walks, bouncing, VORs, and
Hmm.
then some cranial nerves. So the vagus nerve is a big one for that whole area.
Hmm.
So you might try an ab belt. You might do some vagus nerve tapping. You might try some humming, gargling, um, some tongue movements, tongue circles, tongue stretch, um, any of your cranial nerves might be helpful for that.
Yeah. Now, one of the cranial nerves you only do on one side. Do you remember which one that is? Of the 12?
There's a few that you can do on one side or the other. Like the trigeminal nerve, you can just do input to one side of the face, or you can bite on one side and it'll go just directly into the ipsilateral brainstem.
Hmm.
You can do just a smooth pursuit laterally to one side, and that will go just into that side of the brainstem, the PMRF.
Hmm.
You could do funny faces just on one side, or you could
Huh?
down, right, and work the muscles over here.
Hmm.
Do it on that side. Um, you can
Yeah, I
also,
can hear you.
Oh, Brandon,
hey,
hi,
Karen,
this is Karen.
I can hear you.
Okay, I was doing tongue things. Just one night, I was just moving my tongue and sticking out my tongue and just doing different tongue things. And the next day, I had like a knot on the right side of my jaw, upper jaw.
Hmm.
Internal, but you could tell it was a little swelling. And I just figured I must have overstimulated something.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. And
I
so,
didn't realize how strenuous, sticking out your tongue
yeah,
was. It's like, wow.
your tongue is like the second most powerful muscle in your body after your masseter.
What?
Yeah.
The tongue?
So it's a strong, strong muscle. Relative to its size, it's one of the strongest muscles in your body. So you can overdo it. And it can, especially if you have poor mapping of the area, then you can get like it's almost like a little cramp and it creates like a little knot in there. And so that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's uncomfortable for sure. But you would do the same things, those tongue movements, to loosen it up. And you can also do jaw movements. So jaw glides, back and forth, forward and back, doing like little circles,
You can see them.
circles this way, circles this way.
Mm.
So just trying to move your jaw in all the ways that you can, just like you would map any other joint. So you want really smooth movement, no jerky or ratchety movements. You can even add some load. I like to do it this way. Right, press here.
Mm-hmm.
Those go into those cranial nerves too, right into that brainstem. And the tongue specifically lives right next door to the vagus nerve. Well, two nerves away, but so it might have more impact on stuff going on down here. But anything that lowers threat can be helpful.
That's good to know because I thought I overstimulated it and that maybe I should just not do it. Not try to do anything with the tongue for a while until it calmed down. It's better, but it's still like a small knot. I
Yeah.
figure it's just inflammation, like you said, I overstimulated it. I had no idea how powerful the tongue was. That's what I realized. I'm like, wow, I didn't think I was doing that much, but
Yeah, it's kind of like any muscle. Like you're using it a lot because you talk every day, but some of the ways that you were moving it, maybe it hasn't moved that way in a long time. So it was kind of deconditioned.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't take much for it to be overworked.
Mhm.
But you don't have to avoid it. And in fact, it'll heal faster if you go back and do those same exercises you were doing. Just do them very lightly, maybe at 50% of what you were doing when you got that knot.
Yeah, but that stuff in my tongue and it's a little bit different side. I did all kind of stuff, but it just made me think when you're children stick out their tongues and
Uh-huh.
do all kind of stuff. And I don't remember why we stuck out our tongues as kids and why as adults we don't do that. I don't know.
It's because we were conditioned out of it.
Hmm.
Our parents said, don't stick your tongue out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's about right. Stop
Yeah.
acting stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't make that face, it'll get stuck that way. But really, making all those different faces is good workout for your brain. You want to be able to move in all those different ways. You want to have the option to do it. And when you stop doing it, you lose the ability. You lose the option.
Now, here's $1 million question.
Go for
How do I get these wrinkles out of my face?
it.
Not just saying. What Kate say?
She just put some in the chat. Let me answer yours.
Okay.
The, besides your skincare routine and keeping that
Yes.
elasticity, it is all about, being able to move in all the ways that your face can move.
Mm.
And part of those wrinkles are just earned from a life well lived,
Yeah.
right? But
Thank you.
I like mostly it's nutrition and actual hydration and nutrition of the skin. So it comes down to what you eat and what you put on it, but also exercises. Like you can exercise those areas, like actually putting your hand here and forcing those muscles to work a little harder. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like Kate said, she had a thyroidectomy yesterday, and earned herself.
Mm-hmm.
No voice, swallowing is hard, and the left side feels asleep. Jaw is heavy and pain in the left ear. Okay. The cranial nerves are.
Mm.
When would you start to think it's safe to transition out of inhibition and breathing into any of these things? Um, I mean, I would start right away, but at a very, very, very low level. And maybe not like more of like a bottom up approach. So breathing is a great one. Ab belt, you're already probably doing with inhibition if you like that. But then starting to do some vagus nerve activation, like tapping and maybe humming. And then maybe check some of your cranial nerve resets. So maybe start with areas away from the jaw, but start with like visual. Okay, humming doesn't move. Visual resets for the cranial nerves 3, 4, 6. If it's not like increasing pain, like the vestibular reset, ear
Mhm.
tugging. If that's painful, just stay away from it. But it sounds more like the pain's coming from the jaw and going into the ear. So maybe if you can pull on the ear, that might be helpful. Um, but you could also try things on the right side and see. Basically, what I would be doing, Kate, is I would be testing every single one of the cranial nerves at the lowest level of stimulus I can do
Mhm.
and see what kind of result I get with a reassessment. Once the inflammation is down and gone, then you'll be able to do a lot more. But right now, inhibition and breathing, I mean, yeah, I would start with the resets.
Mhm.
I would start with the resets just because it's probably the safest place to start because it's not going to be too activating. Um, and if something's already hypersensitive, it might bring it down a little bit. But it works both ways. Like if things are really low, it can bring it up just a tad. So I might start with there as long as they're not causing more pain.
Yes.
And then, of course, like sensory input, anywhere and everywhere you can around that area is going to be, can be powerful.
Cool, warm.
Cool, warm, maybe some high frequency vibration just around, maybe it's just the trigeminal nerve, just around the face or the head, not down here, maybe, or just down here to get the vagus nerve. So my thought process would be sensory input, vagus nerve, and then cranial nerve resets. That's where I would start. Um, and you're already doing breathing, but that's big on that list. I'm just reading one of your messages here. Um, yeah, yes. So throat chakra, thyroid, voice, they're all very much connected. So you have to build that back up a bit. But just be nice to yourself, okay? Give yourself some grace in this moment, like you just went through a pretty intense procedure. And they say, oh, it'll be quick and easy. You'll be out in a second, but they don't know. So if your nervous system needs a little bit more time to reintegrate and get back at it, that's okay. That's okay. Start where you're at and just count the little wins and the little bit of progress that you get day by day. Um, and when you can start to do some sensory input around that area, and just humming is going to be your first kind of milestone, I think. Like the ability to hum will be a good first milestone. Okay. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I know you're probably like kind of bored out of your mind also, just sitting in a hotel or a hospital room, but thanks for being here. And Zoe, Karen, thank you guys for your input and your questions.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, Kate, if you need anything else or run into any snags, let us know. Let me know. Send me a message, and we'll help you out. Okay.
You better take
You better, Kate.
Yep. See you guys soon. Okay.
Bye.
care.
Bye bye.